Alrighty, everybody getting set up here. Took me just a little while. So far only got one viewer, but that's fine. Wasn't going to go live tonight, but so many people have requested me to go live, so I hope they get notified of it. Anyway, wore out. It's 10 o'clock. Been a busy day today. Taking a look at the radar. Let's go straight into that and see what we got going on. Looking at the radar, we finally see some green showing up. Some rainfall for a chance. It's been so dry out. All that will continue to move in from the south as we get what's left of the tropical system there. I still have not been able to pronounce that name correctly. I think it's Francine or Francis or something. Forgive me if it's all wrong there. But all this moisture continuing to progress to the north from that, bringing in some well-needed rainfall. Some of those rainfall totals could get quite high depending on where the heaviest bands develop, which we really don't know where they're going to develop yet. But we think they will develop, just not sure where they're going to develop at. Let's take a current look outside. It is 72 degrees. Haven't had any rain yet, but it is on the way. Looking outside, it is winds are out of the south-southeast at 5 miles per hour, gusting up to 9 miles per hour. Expect that to increase as we get on into the night and into tomorrow especially. Rainfall, absolutely none. No rainfall at all at the moment. Let's take a look at some other graphics here. Let me get the radar back up. Okay, and yeah, that's what I forgot to put up was tonight and tomorrow's rainfall, or actually forecast, but that's okay. So let's move on forward here, taking a look at the total precipitation. So that's where the bands are expected to develop. Now again, just a little bit shift east could put us having some very heavy rainfall, which it looks like the southwest portion of DeKalb County will have some very heavy rain regardless. But this is where those outer bands are supposed to be the most intense. Again, we really don't know where these are going to develop at. This is just a guidance of where it could. So they're talking about along I-65, 5, maybe 6 inches of rain. That extends over into Marshall County too. Some of them could see some 5 inches of rain. I will not rule out the southwest portion of DeKalb County getting higher than 4 inches, 3 to 4 inches of rainfall. So that really depends on where those bands set up. Shows areas in Jackson County, the western portion there, rather seeing possibly 3, maybe 5 inches too. Elsewhere, most area gets around 2 to 3 inches, but where them higher bands develop, that's where we'll have to watch for the heavier rain, as well as the threat of some tornadoes and damaging winds. So let's get on with that and look at the excessive rainfall outlook that's been issued. As I mentioned in the earlier live stream that this would all shift northeast, and it has. So taking a look, this is valid for Thursday into Friday's outlook. Slight risk of heavy rainfall, pretty good area there, level 2. Pretty good area for the northern part. Now we'll move on just a little bit to Friday into Saturday. That slight risk extends for just about all of northeast Alabama. Could see some very heavy rainfall. Totals, I would not doubt to see some of those rainfall totals up to 6 inches possibly in some areas, not all areas, but some areas. Now let's move to satellite imagery. Take a look at the system there to the southwest, currently moving northeast. There's our tropical system. Looking at the satellite imagery, goes our satellite. Pretty intense storm there. Saw one of the meteorologists actually questioning why a hurricane warning was not put up there. He was pretty puzzled about this, but like I stated, these hurricanes, they are extremely unpredictable until they actually get here. You just don't really know what they're going to do. We're going to keep monitoring, though. SPC outlook for Thursday. This is the tornado outlook. I know it's a little bit offset there, but you can still see the graphic. But 2% risk of tornadoes anywhere. That includes all of northeast Alabama and north Alabama, with a higher threat of 5% risk between Birmingham south. Looking at the high-resolution rapid refresh models, they show the highest of that energy being around in that area. But also, it does skirt on off northeast into our area. Looks like, I'm going to say late, anywhere between 6 o'clock tomorrow and probably after midnight is when it looks like that comes in. Now, looking at the categorical outlook, of course, there's only a level 2 marginal risk of severe thunderstorms, and includes tornadoes possible for North Alabama. Could still see some damaging winds and gusty winds. We'll get into that here in just a minute. We'll move on to Friday. There is a threat again of severe thunderstorms for northeast Alabama, including DeKalb, Jackson, Marshall counties. That's September 13th. Primary threats on that day would be damaging winds with a low threat of a tornado. Now let's look at the high-resolution rapid refresh models. The hurricane or tropical system is actually currently right there, so we're going to track it a little further out. Start getting those bands in here. The heavier bands, though, look like they come in. Let me look at the graphic because I haven't even looked at the timing on it yet. So it's forecasting them to get into northeast Alabama. Look like around 8 p.m. 8 p.m. looks like tomorrow night when that looks like. The timing is still kind of uncertain on that. Now, information from National Weather Service Huntsville, that looks pretty accurate. 7 p.m. Thursday is when it's supposed to be very close to our area. So 8 p.m. looks pretty good on the timing. Of course, Hurricane Francine, it has made landfall, actually. And it could lead to flash flooding and 1 or 2 tornadoes. I know they are saying highest rainfall amounts along and west of I-65. I agree with the along I-65, but I don't really agree with the west of I-65 because of the newest graphic. But we're going to go with what they said here anyway, because, so still something to watch out for. Gusty winds, very high confidence that we're going to see gusty winds. Some of those could be damaging at times. It just depends on where that heaviest rainfall sets up at. Those could have some damaging winds in there. Be able to pull some of that down from the higher up. We've got a very intense jet up there in the air, so we've got a very intense jet stream there. And if we can get some, some of that rain, heavier rain, to pull some of those damaging winds down to the ground or pull that jet down just a little bit, we can see some damaging winds, probably 60 miles per hour possible. So somewhere right in there. Now, getting ready to wrap things up here for tonight. Wind advisory is in effect at 7 a.m. Thursday, starting in the morning, through 7 a.m. Friday. Wind gusts near 35, 40 miles per hour. Can't rule out a 50 mile per hour wind gust in the higher elevation. So make sure you secure outdoor objects. Watch for crosswinds when traveling. It is going to be very windy. Down trees and power lines could lead to power outages. About 100,000 people are without power in Louisiana right now. Due to this system. It looks like everybody's just now getting notified. Hazardous travel, of course, especially for high-profile vehicles. And model output for Friday night, I actually don't think I even ran it that far out. Let me go back, take a look at see if this graphic runs that far out. So that's for Wednesday. I may have to go get another graphic up and take a look at that. That's something I didn't do. Bear with me. Like I said, it's just one of those things. I decided to go live because I had so many people wanting me to. Let me go look at the high-resolution models real quick. I'll actually look at those together so y'all don't have to wait. Let me get that up really fast. Let's see here. Where did it go? It should show up in the background here in just a moment. I got to get some of these slides closed. Okay, here we go. We're starting to load up in the background now. So let's look at the high-resolution models. Let's go get that up here. Make sure you guys are aligned so y'all can see it. Now let's go to the reflectivity preset and let's run this model. We'll actually use a little bit more in-depth model here. I like the 1 kilogram AGL. And looks like the graphics have maybe started updating. Let me see if I can get them to update a little bit more. Okay, we're going to move back. They should be loaded up. Okay. Get the loop up now that it's loaded. Okay, so let's move forward here. Okay, so all this big mess really starts ramping it up. It's showing around 7 a.m. So we start to get batches of that rain, thunderstorms in the area at 7 a.m. Starts to progress north. We may have a few little tiny breaks in the precip. Looks like the heavier bands start to come in. Go ahead and run that through. The heavier bands start to come through around 7 p.m. tomorrow. So we're at 7 p.m. right now tomorrow. Running on through some more heavier bands there around 10 p.m. Run it through a little bit more. There's those heavier rain bands that we was just discussing that could produce that flash flooding. Looks like it is along I-65. Looks like some of it does make it into DeKalb County and of course Marshall County. We'll move forward a little bit more. This is going to be at 6 a.m. Friday morning. We get some of the remnants of that tropical system, some more shower and thunderstorm development by around 2 p.m. Running the models on through. Big batch starts to try to come in approximately 5 p.m. And then, in the evening hours, this timing will be adjusted. another big batch as it continues to exit. That's as far as the models go. They don't go out any further than that. And this is 7 p.m. Friday, so that's as far as our models allow us to run at this time. So very active weather on the way. It is going to be very, very active, so make sure you stay weather aware. Multiple deals of this stuff. Like, it's going to be a lot of stuff coming in, but that's as far as our model runs run right there. They completely run out there. That's as far as I can go with it. So hope that does help you out. Stay weather aware. Make sure you got ways to receive warnings, multiple ways to receive warnings, and make sure you know that if a warning's issued, you're ready to act. Again, I cannot stress this enough. Pay attention, because you might see the tornado before it's warned. Now, I know that's bad, but with these hurricanes, they can pop up within seconds and do damage like that quick, and they're gone. So that being said, and again, for it to start in DeKalb County in the morning hours around, I'll say 7, 8 a.m., we can start to get some batches, heavier batches come in. It looks like the severe stuff comes in later around, I'm going to estimate 6 p.m. tomorrow night. And overnight into the morning hours Friday, before more moves in on the back side of the low pressure, which will develop, I'm going to estimate Friday evening. I believe that's what the model showed there, Friday evening. So stay weather aware. We're going to get ready to wrap it up. Head to bed. Get ready for a very, very busy few days. So we'll look at radar again before we wrap it up, because I know some of y'all weren't here. Y'all just popped up, and I was literally about to go to bed, and I was like, I had one of my friends write me. He's a fire chief over in Jackson County, several departments there, and he's like, man, we've been waiting on you to go, and everything. We want to see you go live. We're paying attention to you. So shout out to you guys, and shout out to Wesley, Henniger Fire Department, all you guys. I appreciate y'all keeping up with me here. Let's look at the radar right now. We do have some well-needed rainfall starting to move into the Rainbow City, Gadsden area, all lifting off to the north. Some heavier stuff around Anniston. All that will continue to lift off to the north and finally give us some relief from this drought. Some relief from it anyway. I know the ground is so dry. I've sprayed water on it, and you get covered up with dirt, with the dust, quicker than you will the water. So it's like powder out there. It's as dry as it can be. So take care. God bless. We'll see you on the next one. Stay weather aware. Have a great night, everybody. And of course, make sure you like and subscribe. Help me get to 1,000 people likes on YouTube, because you get a reward. YouTube will give you a plaque if you make it to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So please help me get to those. That is a big goal of mine. I really want that award. Take care. God bless. See you on the next one, everybody.